Hello everyone. This is another kind of different video. It's not really about books. It's not really about anything except life. I've been compelled to do this because I'm feeling very content in a minute. Very happy, loads of headspace. And I thought it'd be nice to put up a video just kind of saying it. I think it's good for us to remember to relish that and to enjoy the moment when it happens. So at the moment it's August the 22nd, I think it is, and I'm on my holiday, so I'm not at work at the moment, so obviously that's a big part of it, and I've got a huge amount of headspace. And I noticed it earlier. I noticed how cluttered I wasn't, and it was a wonderful feeling realising that and knowing that that's why I feel so chilled. But it's also, obviously, springs off into other things. Like, so if suddenly my cat does something suddenly, I don't go, whoa, and I'm all like, what's that, calmly react to it or whatever. But, there's all sorts of other things that come off that. And ultimately, we need these moments. We have to have these moments. If we don't have these moments, and if your holiday time doesn't give you that moment, or if you don't have enough free time in general to give you that moment, then obviously life isn't working for you, and you need to kind of evaluate what you're doing, I guess. And I've had a funny 18 months, 2 years really. So go right back 2 years. I had a bunch of bereavements. But a particular one that hit me hard, it took me a long time to get over, and that spinned off into a depression that happened earlier this year. Lasted for a few months, and that made it quite difficult for me to do my job properly. And there was a real head fog. There was the opposite of how I feel at the moment. It was I couldn't think clearly. I was forgetting loads of stuff. I found it difficult to commit to setting up dates for the gigs, for the band. I found it difficult just to answer messages, and I was just sort of floating about and just couldn't focus at all on anything. And it's it's worth thinking about when you haven't got that stuff happening, and when you have got this sort of headspace and you've got this free mind. You need to relish it, you need to enjoy it, and you need to acknowledge it, I think. Because if you've taken the time to have your own internal dialogue saying that this has happened, and you've had some good time, you've had some good space, then that would be a nice reminder when it goes dark again, which inevitably it does, because it's just life, isn't it? So I do think it's just important to relish the moment. So this might sound like absolute nonsense, but I was just thinking, I just had a Chinese takeaway, which is really nice. And when I was in the Chinese, ordering it, I thought of the phrase, I was thinking about doing this when I came in, and I was thinking of the phrase, relish the moment, enjoy the headspace. And I think that's why I wanted to do this, just to kind of send that message, because I don't know if we really think about that. So this is for Gareth in November as well. Watch this and know that you have these times, because I'll be back teaching again soon. It's a ridiculous job where it's like a 24-hour job. You don't properly de-stress, and then you have these moments, these half-term weeks, and you get these breaks where you can actually find yourself again. And I before I was a teacher, I've been teaching for 13 years. Before I was a teacher, I was in retail for 21 years. So 15 years in record shops, 6 years in a bookshop, and part of that time in the bookshop I was also doing some work as a supply teacher as well, and doing a few teaching bits. It was kind of my transition into teaching. And in those days, you left your job, and your evening you had a lot more headspace because you didn't take it home with you. And you didn't have blocks of holiday in the same way that a teacher does, but I was definitely more relaxed, and you definitely felt like you could leave your job back, when you left the shop at 6 o'clock or whatever. So yeah, I know that that's not going to be the case when I post this, that I'm going to be desperately waiting for the Christmas break probably. But who knows? I mean, I've got new students to meet in a couple of weeks, and I'm sure that lots of them will be really lovely, and it'll be really nice teaching them. But there's all sorts of other things that happen in the college, and it'll be the same in schools, that complicate a teacher's life, that go well beyond the students, and we'll see. But at the moment, I've got a lot of headspace. I've got a lot of time to think and relax and enjoy and think about what I want to do in my day. And I just think it's important for everyone to try and find those moments, and to try and organise your life so you have those moments. Because otherwise, what you're doing, what you're like, we're only here for a little while, and time goes so quickly. I think you need to make the most of it. And if you find that there's loads of time, loads of months and months and months and months where you don't have that feeling, then I don't think you've set your life up right. And I've thought about leaving my job, thinking, oh, maybe that was the case. And if I do feel like that, I will. I do think you need to look after yourself and change your situation if you don't feel it's right. But yeah, at the moment, I can relish the moment and enjoy the headspace. So if you can do that, then just acknowledge it and do that. And if not, try and find an opportunity to do that, and enjoy life, because we're not here long. All right. Possibly a whole completely mad ramble, but apologies if that's the case. But if you can connect to that, that's cool. And I hope you find that headspace soon, and hopefully you had it today. Thanks a lot. Bye.